Hey, the red. What's good, YouTube? This IQ Domino coming back at y'all with another motherfucker bang of a video. Now today, you know what I'm saying, I'm rolling around at the park, you know what I'm saying, skating and some more shit. But I had an interesting conversation I just not thought about, man. And I was just thinking, you know what I'm saying, like about the law of attraction, right? And I was thinking, maybe it's not the fact that, because I struggled for a little minute on, you know, really trying to understand the law of attraction, trying to understand what was I doing, what was I not doing, right? And number one, what I was doing, number one, was feeding into too many distractions. So I had to cut off a lot of my distractions. I had to cut off the game. I used to play video games faithfully. Like, I was the type of motherfucker, I can literally wake up, get on the game, go to sleep on the game, wake up on the game, wake up, get back on the game, brush my teeth, wash my face, get back on the game. And then just play it like, literally I could play a game. I literally used to be able to play the game, especially as a kid during the summer, every day for weeks. For weeks, just being on the game. That's how I grew up. That's how I always was. But then I ended up with like, fuck. I got into a business, trying to start a business, trying to start trading, and I realized like, damn, like, gaming has been a big distraction for me for a good piece of my life, where I limited myself, where I was basically living through the game. Like, the game was like my escape. So it was really my outlet. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a big ass distraction for me. Like, it was so much of a distraction that I couldn't even focus on certain tasks in school. I couldn't do certain shit. Like, and when it comes down to college, I was not that successful in college because I was focused on the game. It had a couple other things too that came into play with the military, but for the most part, I was struggling. I wasn't doing as good in school as I probably could have because I was on the game and I was just really being distracted. It was my escape, right? So that's what it was. And it wasn't the fact that I had a distraction. It's the fact that that distraction took so much of my attention that it was like a detriment on me. It's like I really was like it was in my norm to escape through the video game. It was my norm to give most of my attention to the video game. So when I cut that off, it was a portion of like just, you know, boredom. It was a portion of like feeling a little like, damn, I went from keeping myself from being on the video game to like completely getting rid of the video game. And I was just like, damn, like, my mindset I forced my mindset to change. I was bored as a motherfucker. And I was just like, low key, it was like, I took like a little hit of like extreme, didn't know what to do, boredom. And then I just started doing trading. And when I was trading, there was a portion of that trading that was just like, damn, I was good at trading, but I wasn't really getting the results I wanted. But at the same time, I had a lot of time because I was no longer distracted to focus on trading. So, of course, my homeboy D put me on to some shit when it came down to the trade we call funded challenges. And I started taking the funded challenges serious. Now, I failed a lot of them motherfuckers. I failed buku of the motherfuckers. I'm talking about a flood, you hear me? Money, gone. Lost a flood of the motherfuckers. But it was like, that was time for me to actually focus. And then all of a sudden, it was like, I started figuring out the mindset of trading. I started figuring out the mindset of taking risks. I started figuring out the mindset of, you know, how to not get greedy, how not to overdo things, how not to, you know, be overzealous with everything, right? And that opened my eyes because I started to look at risk a little different. But of course, at the beginning, I looked at risk in like a blanket. Like, I seen half the picture. I ain't really see the whole picture of trading when I first started looking into the psychology of it. But I just started understanding, like, what's the point of taking risk? But then You know what I'm saying? My homeboy Dev, I ended up meeting him, and he also was in the trading shit. But I noticed that he wasn't as much of a risk taker as me, and he wasn't as comfortable with taking risks as me. So of course, but he was like a motherfucker who dime pinching, but moving up like slow as like snail slow. I'm talking about, nigga, all 4 tires on flats on rims slow. Like, he was moving slow as a bitch. But so I'm like, bro, you gotta change that shit up. Like, how I'm looking at you look like you are going to be doing this shit for years, because he was not comfortable with taking risk. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we had a little conversation where we basically understood what both of us were missing. That's why I always say it's good to have motherfuckers around you that's cool enough and that's comfortable in themselves enough and that's secure in themselves enough to help each other grow. Because when you got certain people around you that's like trying to say they better than you, or they're trying to outdo you, or they hating on you, or it's like, that's bad company. That's like bad. Like, that's not the good kind of, it shouldn't really be a competition in that kind of way. You know, if it's gonna be a competition, be a competition of like trying to really push each other. But that's not how we were. How you know, a lot of people that I used to trade with was. But me and Dev, he really was on some shit like, you know, he gonna make it work. I was the type of motherfucker was like, listen, I'm gonna push it further than what you might think it can go. That's the type of nigga I am. So I took in a lot of his psychology, and what I realized is that we both was growing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was growing, I was growing, but he was growing in one way, I was growing in another way, of like seeing, basically formulating the pieces to get to the big picture. He'll formulate the pieces to get the big picture. And what I realized is, because I got past phase 1, I got past phase 2, I had some real money, I ended up crashing that. And I got past phase 1, got past phase 2 again. And then I had like a point where I was like in the minus. And I just really started thinking, like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Like, it's happening again. What if I thought I solved this problem, what I'm doing? And I realized is that you really gotta operate, and you gotta really put a system in place where it's the norm to, you know, put in a trade and it not really affect your day. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to put in a trade and it not really affect, you know, your normal trading scheme. It gotta be in a way that you can do it every day. Now, that's a whole different thing right there. That's like a whole different conversation, like really talking about what that is exactly, me explaining that. But I put a system in place where I can do the same thing I can look at it the same way, look at the same things every day, and understand if I have a trade or not. Or it could be at a certain point in the market, and I know it's probably gonna take 1 or 2 days before I actually get into a trade again. And these trades be like 10 to 1s. For y'all that don't know, that's like 10 times versus where if you lose. If you lose, it's 1 loss. My 1 loss equals 10 wins. You know, it's my 10 wins equals, my 1 loss times 10 is a 10 to 1. So when I win, I win 10. When I lose 1. And I start moving like that. And I'm talking about, I started really picking it up. I started really understanding, like, damn, I'm having big wins and my losses ain't that bad. I started really piecing it together. And as soon as I pieced it together, I lost all my trading shit. Like, funded traders stopped getting traded, you know, stopped getting funded by prop firms. So America is out the loop with that. But my whole point is, I started really understanding, like, it was that point where I understood that this shit really is an algorithm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I looked at Money Man, and Money Man was like, listen, everything really is an algorithm. What you don't understand is, he was like, it's the middleman businesses that's gonna really take off, that's gonna take off in the future. It's not the businesses that you think like drop shipping and the manager business. Them gonna do good, but it's really the middleman businesses that's really gonna do good. So I'm like, damn. So what that is, that's like sales. Being a salesman, that's like YouTubers, that's like entertainers, that's like managers. The middlemen, they gonna do good. I'm like, why is that? Why do all the middlemen do good? That seems like that's the businesses that get overlooked the most, is the middleman businesses. That's the businesses that is not really, how I put this, marketed to like the society as a norm. Like that's not that. Why? It's because you really gotta think on a mind front, on a scale of like, you're going to lose more than you win when you a middleman. You're gonna lose way more than you win, right? Now I know y'all thinking about YouTube and all that kind of shit. Y'all like, you know, you ain't really losing in that kind of shit. But the reality of it is that in shit like Netflix, Tubi, you know, they lose. Believe it or not, they get passed. But you pass by more movies than you watch. You feel me? But that's what part of being a middleman is that you gonna get passed up by a lot of people before you get one person. So I start piecing that shit together. Then I start thinking like, damn, like this really is how the law of attraction works. Because at the end of the day, you're going to lose more than you win. I promise you, like, you're gonna lose more than you win. That's why, and I started really piecing it together. I'm like, bro, this is the lifestyle. This is the lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. It's not a I gotta really build it up until I get it type situation. It's really a lifestyle. You feel me? It's a lifestyle. It's something that you really gotta do, or a way you gotta be every single day until you really get that lifestyle that you want. Right? It's a way of being. You feel me? So when I was growing up, I used to think, well, maybe if I restrict myself to this and that, I used to semen retention, no shot. You know, so I used to not watch nothing. I used to not do nothing. And I used to not go out for the sake of me thinking to myself, like, I'm doing this for the long run. So I give myself time to build up knowledge. I give myself time to not to be, give myself more focus because I ain't got higher dopamine hits. Now keep in mind that shit do come into play to a certain extent, but it come to a certain, you got to be able to, you got to learn how to work it. But I'm gonna get into that a little bit later. But the whole point is like, that's a whole nother video too. Shit, I ain't gonna cap. But the whole point is this, is that you really got to get to a point where you got to operate in a way that you want to live, not just right now, but for as far as you can see. Like, as far as you can see down the line, you want to live as close as that as you possibly can right now. Right now. In whatever way you think you can. Live however, within your means, you know what I'm saying? I ain't saying blow all your money and no crazy shit. What I'm saying is that, you know what I'm saying, you got a body and you got a mind. You feel me? You got a body and you got a mind. How you think your body and your mind will be used? How you think your level of thinking will be used, will be operating on to get to where you want to get to in your life? Now, you draw something, man. Yeah. But operating on the level of, you know what I'm saying, on the level of your body, whether that be, let's say you want to see yourself, I always say dancing, because I love to dance. Dancing, fucking skating, I'm skating, fucking doing poetry, fighting, mixed martial arts, painting, making movies. You want to be an actor, you want to do whatever you want to do. Start operating and start doing those things that you want to do in a way that connects to what you want in the long run, because it's a lifestyle. You feel me? It's not a I'm gonna do this to get here type of thing. It's a lifestyle. You feel me? It's a lifestyle of constantly getting better, constantly improving, constantly seeing where you can get better at, what you can get better at, constantly, you know, doing things and using your body and using your mind in a way that you will always be using it in the future. So for me, I always wanted to operate on a high level socially, just being able to communicate and being connected to myself while communicating. So what I had to do, start talking to literally whoever I can talk to, start talking to everybody. But it got to a point where I noticed that where my insecurities lied, where it was like, I don't really think I can talk like this or talk like that. It just went from, I was connected to myself. Now, at the end of the day, I had to learn that from somebody. But like I said, at the end of the day, you're always going to be learning. And you operate on a level of always moving towards where you want to be, and and you're humble enough to say, I'm not here right now, but I know I can get there. I know I will be there. You're going to begin to start being open to learning. You have to be open to learning, or open to understanding what you need to be doing. You're going to be open to that more. So in that, I learned, how to socialize. I learned how to communicate while being connected to myself. I learned how to express myself. I was learning that, and I'm still learning it. I'm still learning that shit. I had to learn how to be in front of a camera. I had to learn how to stop giving a fuck about what motherfuckers think so I can record these kind of videos. But it started with baby steps. I was operating or beginning to try to operate on the level that I know I could operate on. You feel me? I had to do things that was I had to get to as close as I can get to, or as close as I was comfortable with, to operate on the level of this level of, having confidence to be myself, to be me, to count on myself, to trust myself. I had to operate on a certain level first. I had to be operating on a certain level to be comfortable enough to take risks. Because whether you know it or not, and this is for my fellas, ladies too, you're naturally gonna have all these things attracted to you because you want it. Just off the simple fact that you want certain things, right? The opportunities are around you. They're around you because just off you wanting it. You know what I'm saying? It's automatically around you. But if you're not ready to get those things, and if you don't have the skills to acquire those things, to handle those things, if you don't have the gumption to really just take on a little bit of a risk to acquire those things, then honestly, you are a person that's undeserving of those things that you want. Not because I'm saying it, because you said it. You said it. You operated on that level. So what I'm getting at is that when you start beginning to try to operate as close as you can to the level that you want to, and you just start putting in the effort to operate on that level, what you'll begin to see is that that'll not only get attracted to you, but you'll begin to live a little bit, as much as you can, as much as you possibly can take. You'll begin to live that lifestyle that you want to live. You'll get a taste of it. What's good? You'll get a taste of it. You won't just be thinking about it, or like this could be this or this could be that. You'll start getting a taste of it because you're going to go as far as you can, and it's gonna, you're gonna start to see it more and more and more, and you're learning more and more and more. You're doing more and more and more towards the goal that you want in the long run. So because you operate on that level, what you're gonna start to realize is that, damn, I really am exactly who I thought I could be. I'm operating on a level that I never thought I could be. I'm doing what I never thought I could do. Let me keep going. Once you keep going, it's gonna start really coming in, but it's a period that most people cannot handle, and that's the period of, number one, loneliness. It's a period of you're not going to see anything because you're just blind. Not because it's not around you, it's because you're blind. Like you're literally asleep. You blind to it. You don't even know what the fuck is really going on around you enough to take advantage of what's going on and make the most out of it. You don't have the game, or you don't have the sauce, or you don't have the knowledge or the understanding to be able to, make those opportunities that you actually want happen. You ain't even got it in you. You're like, you don't got it in you. And then sometimes you don't have enough belief in yourself to naturally be yourself to get the opportunities. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why so many people around, you see them, they start restricting themselves. Where they talking about fucking semen retention, where they talking about celibacy, where they talking about, all these things. They restrict themselves knowing goddamn well they want this kind of lifestyle. Why are they doing it? They're doing it to cope, one, to say this is why I'm not doing it because of this. Two, they're doing it because they think that's going to get them to the end goal of what they need to get something else to say, this is what I actually want. And the truth of the matter is that you are already good enough to get what you want. You are already enough just the way you are to get what you want. You're just not acting like it. You're just not moving like it. You got to actually move and live your life like you are already worthy of it. You know what I'm saying? You're like not, and it's not really an act. Because I always you really can't act. You can't pretend to be. But you have to be yourself. And that take time, it take time to be able to understand who you are, to connect with and that's another thing that people don't do. They don't try to connect with themselves. They don't talk to God. I always say I talk to God all goddamn day, every day. I always talk to God. You know what I'm saying? I'm religious. I always talk to God. I always move on that level. I always move on that frequency. I'm always talking to God. You feel me? Because he is connected to me more. He know me better than I know me. So who else is there to talk to outside of that motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? Talking about Mary. Let me chill out. I know some of y'all sensitive out there. But nah, the law of attraction is kind of like, you have to really live that lifestyle and put your body through that lifestyle and, constantly have your mind focused on operating on that lifestyle for you to be able to really do it. Because a lot of guys, they think, I need to stop doing this. I need to stop doing this. I need to stop doing that. You know what? You might need to stop doing it as long as you're doing it. Because if you want something else, you got to be something different. You got to move a little different. But you got to move how you want to move forever right now. As long as you can see, because at the end of the day, you're going to want to change again. Or you're going to want to evolve yourself again. You're going to constantly be evolving yourself. But it's not even really a change, it's more so evolve, because you're the same motherfucker, you just know more, you understand more, you grow. You know what I'm saying? A tree ain't gonna be a motherfucking bush forever. You gonna grow. You gonna grow. So this is the thing that I'm really trying to get across, is that don't let motherfuckers say what you can and can't do when it comes down to you living your life, because only you really know how you want to operate. You are the only person that know how you want to operate. You the only person that know the lifestyle you really want to live. And for a motherfucker to tell you that you should be operating in a certain way, and they don't know more than you, they don't understand more than you, they don't really know you, they ain't really looking out for you, bro, or sis. And the only motherfuckers that really know how you operate or how you move is the motherfuckers that just say, this is what you can do. This is what you can do. This is what's possible for you doing this. You feel me? It's a whole different kind of game. It's a whole different kind of game when you're talking about having OGs, having mentors that put you on game. But they put you on game in a way is like they giving their experience, or they giving like a piece of knowledge. But at the end of the day, they giving you an option. You feel me? And that's what I noticed, because the people with the real game is almost, to a certain extent, they don't restrict you. They say some shit like, you need to believe in this. You gotta want to be here. Stop wasting my fucking time. Shit like that. Because you have to really want it. You cannot kind of want it. You cannot, I'm not trying to motivate y'all. But you cannot kind of want it. You cannot be halfway in it. You have to really go as far as you can. And you have to really, you do not, and I constantly say this, you do not need to be extremely brave, bro. You don't need to be extremely brave. You don't need to be extremely, king. You don't need to be King Tut around this motherfucker banging on your chest saying you the motherfucking best thing since sliced bread. You feel me? You don't need to be the big dog, the alpha. You don't need to be a G or a pimp. You don't need to be the biggest thing. You don't need to be that. You don't need to be wealthy. You don't need to be that. Wealth is internal. You know what I'm saying? Wealth is internal. If you know how to live your life, if you know how to live a prosperous lifestyle, your kids gonna be able to still live forever. Your line gonna be able to live forever. So your line gonna be able to get what they want out of life forever. If it's really in you to live like that, they're gonna get what they want. If you know how to get what you want. So at the end of the day, it ain't about all that. What it's about what do you want? You feel me? Because that's the only way for you to really live the lifestyle that know how you want to live for real. Like, you gotta really operate on that level of knowing what you want, doing what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Saying what you want to say, being how you want to be, behaving how you want to behave. It ain't necessarily a thought process of. It ain't necessarily a thought process of like, trying to be perceived as. And that's what I was stuck in. I was thinking about how I think others should be seeing me. I was stuck on that shit. I was stuck on it. Literally stuck on it. Like, thinking like, well, how they gonna look at me like this? They gonna like, bro, fuck all. Oh shit, goddamn, fuck. Almost bust my ass. Goddamn. But nah, I was stuck on it. I was stuck on the perception of like, what if they look at me like this? What if they still think of me like this? I was stuck on that shit. The moment I stopped giving a fuck about that is the moment I start opening up and start understanding what I really wanted. Because I ain't know what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? I just know what I thought looked cool. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was on. I was on what I thought would look cool. I was on what I thought was real swag. What I thought was other people was gonna think was cool. I was really stuck on that shit. I was stuck on the video game. I was the biggest asshole, the biggest, most philosophical nigga, the most goofiest nigga. I'm still goofy. You know what I'm saying? I'm goofy now, nigga. I love to laugh. I love to make people laugh. But I love to put people on game too. I love to flirt. You know what I'm saying? I love to turn women on. I ain't gonna cap. But it's like all that shit is shit that I love doing. You know what I'm saying? The people that I was watching, the people that were successful, the people who had the money was telling me that I was wrong for doing that. And this is why I make it a point to always say I never tell people was right or was wrong, because I don't know what people want. At the end of the day, you feel me? Like, I don't know what people want. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what people want. So I never tell nobody what to do and what not to do. I never do that. Like, if you want to play the video game all day, bro, turn the camera on to play it all day. Because that's the only way you're going to get paid for it, to do it and be able to really do that shit forever. You turn the motherfucking camera on. You know what I'm saying? Work on yourself still. Even if you want to play the game all day, work on yourself. Because you your best product. The video game is not your best product, bro. It's not. No matter how much you think it is, or how much you love it, how much you like to spend your time, how much attention you give to it, that's where you fucking up. I ain't saying you fucking up because you giving it all your attention. I'm saying you fucking up because you ain't giving yourself no attention, but you giving your video game all the attention. You gotta still give yourself attention. You still gotta understand the world. You still gotta understand your finances. You still gotta understand your mentality. You still gotta build up your mentality. You still gotta understand how to take more risks. You still gotta understand how to get better. Even if you ain't getting better at the video game, you have to get better constantly. You have to constantly be growing to get where you want to be. You cannot stop growing. It does not stop. You cannot stop. Like, for real. Internally, you cannot stop growing. Because the moment you stop growing, whether that be getting better, whether that be expanding your creativity, whether that be, expanding your creativity, that's the most, to me personally, that's the funnest way to grow. But you growing. You feel me? Whether it be your mouthpiece, whether it be your fashion, you understanding yourself. You understand why you doing what you do, understanding different sides of yourself, understanding psychology. You should basically love learning, bro. And not just learning, but you should love understanding just as much as you love learning. Understanding is basically making it work for you. How does the information connect with you? How do you, formulate and create and redirect yourself into a direction you want to go with a piece of knowledge? How do you do it? That's understanding, bro. You got to understand how you feel about it, what you think about it, how far you want to take it, how does this piece of information connect with you in a way that is gonna help you acquire your dream. You know what I'm saying? That's where this information really come in at. You know what I'm saying? That's where the understanding really come in at. But a lot of people, they overlook how easily some things can be done, or the fact that things are supposed to always grow. So if this textbook was made in 1968 and you reading it, you ain't supposed to say, hey, y'all need to update this shit. This shit been made. I had this textbook since 1968. No, you need to take that knowledge and level it up, level up your understanding, and you be the book. You know what I'm saying? You create the book. Level up your understanding. See how it connect with you, because I promise you other people gonna connect to something to you, because you are the only thing at the end of the day in this world that's real. Not only in the real world, but the spiritual world. Not everything is connected to this world and the spiritual world. This phone, this camera, this ain't shit if I ain't here. You know what I'm saying? It ain't shit if I ain't here. It ain't nothing. If they ain't got no trees, or they ain't got no motherfucking no dogs and all that shit, animals, it's nothing. This world is nothing. You see what I'm saying? It's because that's the kind of shit that connect to the spiritual world in the real world. That's what makes it real. So you creating that understanding, you creating that shit, that's the only thing that really matter when it comes down to attracting what you want out of life, bro. Real life. And people around the world forget that. This is why you get so many people that be like, they talking about, oh man, you locked into the matrix. You locked into the matrix. You doing this in the matrix. Motherfucker, we are all locked into the matrix. Nigga, it's up to you to create your program and stop playing the fucking program that was already created for you. You feel me? It's a whole, your mind frame gotta be completely different from like everybody in the normal world. Like, it has to be different. If it's the same, then you're just basically copying somebody, and you are what they call a quote unquote NPC. Because you just basically somebody that's been copied, and you doing with somebody that you seen somebody else do. Now, I'm not saying that's wrong, but what I'm saying is that that shouldn't be your end all be all. It should be maybe like a piece, but at the end of the day, you should be creating your own shit. That's why I say no matter what you do, even if you playing the game, somebody already played the game. Even if you start live streaming, you already got people live streaming. So you basically copying anyway. But what's gonna make that shit real, and what's gonna make it really different, is when you are connected to yourself and you doing something with yourself, and you create, growing as a person. When you doing all that kind of shit, That's what's gonna make you actually grow as a person. That's gonna make the difference. That's what's gonna make it like it's your program, because you're gonna have different decisions that's going to be attracted to you. You're gonna have a whole bunch of decisions to make, choices to make, because you got so much so much gonna gravitate to you, because you know what I'm saying? You different than everybody else. You are not a regular NPC. I mean, you don't get me wrong, nigga, you still in the Matrix. But you're not an NPC. You got your own program. And when your program is not really connected to the Matrix, oh my God. Niggas don't understand. They don't understand. They might not like you. Motherfuckers, I always say this, motherfuckers might not like you. Motherfuckers might love you. Motherfuckers might hate you. Motherfuckers might dislike you. But they cannot help but to look at you. They cannot ignore you. They are attracted to you. They are attracted to you. Because you the only motherfucker around this motherfucker that's real. You the only thing that seems real. You're like, damn, this motherfucker is real. This shit coming from his soul. Like, yeah, niggas it's coming from me. You know what I'm saying? IQD. Let me stop playing. Let me stop playing. But that's how you supposed to operate, bro. You are everything that you already want. You know what I'm saying? You are everything that you desire. You are that. You just gotta basically build yourself up into believing it. Because you've been this way for so long, you know, not being what you want to be, not doing what you want to do. You've been doing that shit for so long. You've been on that pathway for so long that you gotta get used to believing in yourself. When you was a kid, you used to believe in yourself. When you was a kid, you was childish as a motherfucker. You used to believe in yourself. Believe that shit. Know that. When you was a kid, shit. You used to believe in your motherfucking self. But you grew up, and the world had a little effect on you where they made you focus on the end goal more than yourself, more than what you want, more than what you desire. They made you focus on the end goal. They made you focus on that distraction. They made you focus on something else that wasn't what you wanted. That's what school and all that other shit, you know, that's the downside of school, is that, you know, if you don't have parents or somebody around you as an example that's constantly showing you what it means to go for what you want and do what you want to do and live the life that you want, you don't have that example around you constantly, you know, it's hard to really say, oh yeah, I want to do this, because you the first person that's really doing it. You really different as a motherfucker, you feel me? It's a whole different thing. Motherfuckers not used to that. You operate on a whole different level that's unusual. You are literally out of the norm. But people fuck with you and they don't know why. They're attracted to you and they don't know why. They don't get it. Motherfuckers don't like you, but they just wanna hang out with you. They wanna call you. But they don't even like your ass. People in business, they like, man, this motherfucker can't be controlled. But ain't nobody else there rather do the job but you. Cause when you connected to yourself, and you know what you're capable of, other people can't help but to see what you're capable of too. They cannot help but to believe in you too. They cannot help but to see something and be like, I know I don't understand, but I know what's going on. I have an idea what's going on. They don't know what's going on. They got an idea what's going on. And this is why I always made it a point to say, don't worry about the end result. Like, don't even worry about it. Just live in the moment and know where you're going. You got to know how to get where you're going, but you got to be okay with not getting there right now. You got to be okay with not getting there with this person. You got to be okay with not getting there in this business. But your end goal should be something that's in your control. You feel me? It's something that's not in your control. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't live on the same. You shouldn't live on the mindset of, you know, I'm gonna try to control this and try to make this and try to change this. Be real, bro. I'm not a promoter of manipulation and deception. I'm not a promoter of deflecting. I'm not a promoter of none of that shit. I'm a promoter of being real. And to be real with you, the only thing that's 100% mapped around your future is you. Everything else can be taken away. Just like I just not told you with this trading shit. This shit got taken away. Shit. That trading shit got taken away. The idea of being funded got taken away. All that shit got taken away. But what didn't get taken away? The mindset. The mindset that I learned from trading. That's what didn't get taken away. And the fact that I learned how to trade, the fact that I learned that I did something that only 2% success rate, it's like a 2% success rate worldwide. So I'm 2%. I did something that only 2% of the people in the world was capable of doing worldwide, which is trading and being, trading a prop firm. Worldwide, only 2% of people are actually, successful trading prop firms. Only 2%. And I was one of them ones. I formulated a fucking mindset. And no matter what I put my mind on now, because I formulated this mindset, I will accomplish that goal. That's the power of working on yourself. That's the power of working on yourself. Is that's the only thing that cannot be taken away. It can't. It can't. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest lesson that I have learned. I always knew it as a kid, but I have learned the lesson. I've lived the lesson of this is the only thing that cannot be taken away. Make sure it is valuable. You got to make sure it's valuable. You got to constantly be loading that motherfucker up. You got to constantly be feeding your mind. You got to constantly, bro, you know how many calories, nigga, I done burned just from sitting there? I'm talking about, I have days where I literally just sit down and I think. You know what I'm saying? And I don't just, just be thinking, just thinking about shit that I've been thinking about, just, out and about. But because I don't know everything. So I get a piece of knowledge from somewhere, I read a book, I do something like that. And what I realize is that I be to learn something, or I be to not really fully understand something, but I be to, have an insight on, I have an insight on new knowledge. And that's why I always say you should learn from people that actually has real game, real sauce, have a living somewhat of a lifestyle that you want to be, because they're going to have a certain way of looking at things. That's why I say you really can't listen to every fucking body. You can't listen to every fucking body, Only people who really understand is people who really lived it to a certain extent. You got to really experience some shit, for me to listen to you. And that's how y'all should be. You should only look at people who obviously have what you want. That's exactly why I called the masculine code, because obviously I'm masculine. I've been told that shit since I really made it a point to understand what it really means to be quote unquote an alpha. When I made that point to really understand what that meant, that's what made me masculine. I had to live a lifestyle of losing constantly with women, with money, with finances. I had to live a lifestyle of losing constantly and still believing in myself, which formulated a mindset of not giving a fuck about what people think. I had to be disliked. I had to be hated and still love myself. I had to look at myself in the mirror when I was down bad and say, I am a fucking loser. I'm not where I want to be. But you know what? I love myself enough to know I'm going to get there. I had to look in the mirror myself. This motherfucker that y'all looking at, I had to look in the mirror myself and say, I don't want to be where I'm at right now. I know I'm capable of more than this, and I know something about me is off, something about me is wrong, and I'm going to put this shit together to fix it. I had to do that. Nobody else told me that. Everybody else was telling me, nigga, you all right, man, you gonna figure it out. And telling me a bunch of bullshit. I was tired of hearing that shit. I had to go to a motherfucker that told me I wasn't shit. It told me I was not paying attention. It told me that I was not listening. It told me that I was not thinking for myself. I had to get a motherfucker to tell me that. And that's exactly why on IQ and IQ Domino Live, with the masculine code, with all of this fucking red pill bullshit, the reason why I go so hard on motherfuckers in them videos, because I was one of them motherfuckers. And I was tired. And when the moment I heard some real shit, which is the first motherfucker I really heard online say some real shit, was Taekwondo. When I heard him say some real shit, it made me think. That was the only motherfucker that made me think. And then I met Steve D. Williams. He made me think even more. And I met Lucario. He made me think even more. Then I made Primetime Hitler. He made me think even more. Then I heard Deshae Frost. I didn't even like Deshae Frost, and I still somewhat I don't really fully respect him as a man, because he lets I understand he's small, but he let people get away with too much. Well, at least he used to. I don't really know about his recent videos, but I know he used to let people get a lot of shit. But even he used to say some real shit. When I started really putting my attention on motherfuckers that was real, and that I knew was real, that was always there. And it's not a sometimes thing, you know. It's like these motherfuckers always talking real shit. When you talk to me, you always talking real shit. You know what I'm saying? Even if I'm joking, I'm saying real shit. I be saying some mean shit, bro. I ain't lying, bro. I'm a mean nigga. I had to really understand that, because I was around a bunch of funny motherfuckers. I ain't lying. It was some pretty ass female, pretty ass, sexy ass goddamn broad. And another dude, another guy, and another friend of mine, and my brother. When I realized I was the one that was saying the wild shit, but they was laughing, but they was like, God damn, at the same time, but they was laughing. And at the same time, after all that, the girls wanted my number. You gotta understand. You gotta understand. That was the difference between me and most of the entertaining motherfuckers that y'all watch. Like, I'm an entertainer to a certain extent, but I'm a motherfucker who really gonna put you on game. So when I'm on them red pill videos, when I'm on all that shit, when I'm doing all that shit, I keep it real, because that's who I am. That's my default setting, keeping it real. I'm gonna always keep it real. But I really want y'all to understand that that's the shit that whether you know it or not, that's the shit that you need to be listening to. Because that's where you want to be. That's who y'all want to be. Y'all want to be real. The niggas who in the lab right now watching this shit while I'm out here, you know what I'm saying? Y'all the only motherfuckers that watch this shit. The motherfuckers that want to be real. The motherfuckers who want to be solid. The motherfuckers who want to be, you know, having their purpose fulfilled. That shit is not most people. You are a small fucking percentage. In the trading game, which is the riskiest, listen what I'm telling y'all, it's the riskiest fucking way to make money. Alright? It's 10% if you use your own money, 2% if you use somebody else's money. It's the smallest percentage to make money. If you put success rate, it has the lowest success rate, one of the lowest other than like professional sports. When you are talking about being real and being authentic for the rest of your life, it's smaller than that. It's smaller than that. Y'all hear what I'm telling y'all? It's smaller than that, bro. It's even smaller. It's way smaller. Really understand what I'm telling y'all. The percentage of people that are real in this world is so fucking small, bro. It's so fucking small, bro. It's small. It's a small percentage. So most people, I ain't gonna tell you what I'm telling you right now. Most. I'm telling y'all, bro. Most people are not going to tell y'all what I'm telling y'all right now, in this 50 minutes of me recording this, most people ain't gonna tell y'all half the shit that I just said. And you know what's crazy is that it's up to y'all to listen. It's up to y'all to listen. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of that shit is gonna resonate with y'all if y'all let it. But if you let this resonate with you, I promise you your life gonna change. Like shit, your life gonna change forever. That's every single one of my videos. Like one of my homeboys, he always tell me like, man, your video was fire, bro. That shit was fire. And I tell him literally like every one of them is loaded with gems. Like real shit. And that's the thing. It's not loaded with bullshit. It's loaded with a bunch of real shit, like real experiences, real knowledge, real shit that I had to learn, real shit that took me like time to learn. I just give this shit away. I just give it away for free, like for free, nigga. This shit, YouTube, this shit is free. Shit that I had to pay for, I give that shit away for free, constantly. And motherfucker be like, man, you got so many gems. I'm like, bro, nigga, my nigga, that ain't even like. I was holding back in that video. Like this video right here, I can't even tell y'all. And you know how much the shit I said I'm gonna have to make a video on. I'm gonna have to say that for another time. Because it's like there's so much shit that I had to learn and so much shit that I had to go through to understand what I learned. And I had to sit down for hours to understand what I was missing. If I did something right, if I didn't do something right, or if I felt like I was lacking in something, or I felt like I was, you know how much understanding I had to basically break down in myself for me to be able to express this shit. Like that shit took me a long time. That's why I say this shit is not gonna happen overnight, bro. Like this shit ain't gonna happen in no one video. This shit not gonna happen in 2 videos. It's not gonna happen in 3 videos. Like you have to consistently keep watching like this kind of content to actually let it sink in your head. Like it's not gonna just sink in your head off you watching 1 content, 2 content. I don't give a fuck if you watching 100 videos. If you're not sitting down trying to understand how to use it for yourself, how to make it connect with you in a unique way, because you are unique. If you're not doing that, bro, you will never understand. You will never operate on that level. You will never do it, bro, because you have to live it. That's what I'm saying with the law of attraction. You have to live it. If you don't live it, you literally just wasting fucking time. At the end of the day, it's baby steps, so take your time. Take your time, you know what I'm saying? Don't get it fucked up. Take your time. As long as you keep making progress, don't get me wrong. I don't give a fuck if it's 0.0000001%. Nigga, you need to constantly be doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? You need to constantly do it. Don't get it fucked up. But what I'm saying is like, you have to try to do something. I try to understand why you're not doing it. Understand what you miss and understand how you view yourself. Understand like that needs to be a constant. Nigga, that shit need to constantly be going. That shit don't ever need to stop. That shit need to keep going. You need to sometimes put the motherfucking put a weight on your back to keep you from making this shit easy sometimes. Like you have to push yourself. Like when you I always say it's a balance of dopamine. Sometimes when you are reading, they need to be no music. Okay, so you can completely focus. Your subconscious even, you need to focus your subconscious. And when you focus your subconscious on some shit, and you focus your subconscious, it's like, I promise you, that's what they call the third eye. I feel like that's what they call when your subconscious focused on what you actually consciously focused on too. You are in flow. You need to practice flowing. You need to practice flowing. You need to practice entertaining yourself mentally with nothing on. Cause at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, this is the lifestyle that most of y'all really want to live anyway. Like that's what I'm really getting behind with all this shit that I'm saying, is that you need to operate on a level of you need to operate on that level where, you know, you living what you want to live. So when that life, so, you know what I'm saying, so you can live that lifestyle that you always wanted to live. It ain't supposed to be a every once in a while thing. It's supposed to be a constant thing. You gotta be consistent on it. You gotta somewhat be, disciplined to doing what you want. And I ain't saying motherfuckers like to give you a little landline. Take it on, no labels. Take on no labels. Create your own labels. Even the labels you give yourself, understand them in a way that connect with you. I'm telling you, understanding is key. That shit is biblical. They say understanding is more valuable than gold. It is more valuable than fucking gold. Because the only thing that make you want gold is so you can get things out of life. That's all understanding will give you. But it will give you, it can't be taken away. Like that's the thing about gold can be taken away. Motherfucker can steal your gold. They can't steal your understanding, brother. They can't steal your sister. They can't steal your understanding. That's just not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. Like whether you like it or not, or whether you don't like it. They will never, ever, nobody will ever be able to take your understanding, bro. They will never be able to take your knowledge. I'm talking about even if they freeze your bank account because you forgot to pay your taxes, dog. They will not, and I repeat, say it loud and proud, they will not be able to take that from you. I'm gonna need you to fully understand that, man. They won't. So, that's all I really got for y'all, man. You like this type of content, leave a like down below. Subscribe. I drop content like this all the time, all right? But before I let y'all go, I want y'all to understand, man, be what you want to be. To the best of your ability. Be who you want to be. Be who the fuck you want to be, man. Do whatever the fuck you want to do, man. Don't let nobody else tell you that you can and can't do it, man. I'm telling you. And I ain't talking about no motivation and shit. I mean literally limiting you to saying you won't be able to do it unless you won't be able to get it unless you do this. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. I'm telling y'all. It's up to you to choose, though. It's up to you to choose, bro. It's up to you to choose, bro. But this IQ Domino, I'ma see y'all when I see y'all, man.